Man in a rooster costume, late 19th century. Bulgaria, 1940. Exorcism of evil spirits causing back pain with the help of an axe, magical incantations, and burning herbs. Technology used in Indian Air Force air parades, 1970. The perfect plane crash, nobody died, United Kingdom, 1960. The loyalty dance, a ritual dance symbolizing devotion to the country's leader Mao Zedong, China, 1967. When seatbelts in racing were not yet mandatory, 1950s. A girl picks up coal that fell from a truck, Dublin, Ireland, 1972. Black humor from Austro-Hungarian pilots. A hat for listening to the radio, 1949. Whiskey dispensing machine, USA, 1960s. A young American women admire stockings. Back then, it was very hard to get them, 1940. Adolf Hitler signs an autograph for a Catholic nun, 1932. Testing of an atomic bomb visible from Las Vegas, 1950s. Hitler declares war on the USA, December 11, 1941. Sanitary dog finds a wounded soldier, World War I, 1916. Birthday, September 11, 2001. This photo was taken at an air show in 2002 at the Sknyliv airfield. Many of the people on the ground will not survive. This disaster broke records for the number of victims at an air show. Not long ago, believing in their superiority, exclusivity, special path, and invincibility, the Germans plant vegetables in front of the Reichstag building in hungry, war-torn Berlin, 1946. Henry Ford with the first car of his own production, 1896. This rare 1917 photo shows one of the most unusual prototypes of individual protection during World War I. This invention belongs to Dr. Guy Brewster, an enthusiast in defense technology who dreamed of creating a light and effective armor for infantrymen, but his dream never came true. A prison in Panama, a net over an abyss, 1920. Residents of the Warsaw Ghetto before their execution during the genocide of Jews. Murders in the ghetto occurred every day. The old, the frail, children, and women were killed. Gadget to hide facial expressions while playing poker, 1937. This photograph, taken on March 17, 1973, it became a symbol of the end of the Vietnam War. In the frame, U.S. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Sturm reunites with his family after 5 years of captivity in North Vietnam. USA, Alabama, mass protests of the black population against white terror in September 1963. Ainu girls started lip tattoos around age 7, enduring years of cut-and-soot ink with no anesthesia. It was painful, repetitive. Expected before marriage, Japan banned it by 1871, nearly erasing the right. Soldiers participate in a staged photograph to illustrate the harmful effects of ignoring a gas mask during a gas attack. France, 1916. A woman who survived the atomic bombing of Nagasaki, 1945. Geishas were initially men called taikomochi. Until the 17th century, they served as jesters to Japanese feudal lords, but this job gradually lost popularity. The first female geisha appeared only in the mid-18th century. A black family drinks from a colored-only fountain in the U.S., 1956. The contrast between their dignified appearance and their humiliating social status is striking. A soldier bids farewell to his service dog, Afghanistan, 1989. Daughters meet their father after the war, England, 1940. Allied soldier inside a lookout tree, 1918. Initially, trees near the trench line were selected for this purpose. Then, photographs of these trees were taken from different angles, and high-quality models were made, which were later installed at night in place of the cut-down trees. A method of restraining a mentally ill person in a British asylum to prevent them from hurting themselves during an hysterical fit, 1950. Liverpool versus Juventus, Brussels European Cup Final, 1985. An automated robot imitating human speech, USA, 1845. Gas chamber for horses, Germany, 1942. Used to treat skin diseases, but it looked terrifying. I'm not a camel, I want beer. Protest against the ban on alcohol consumption while driving, 1920s. The eruption of Khrushchevskaya Sopka, taken from space, Russia, 1994. An elephant named Tyke attempted to escape from a circus in the US. Police shot her 86 times before she died. She died over 2 hours. The next time you're told that animals enjoy working in circuses, remember this photo and the panic, pain, and helplessness in her eyes. The times when there was no internet. Walter Yeo, the first known patient to undergo plastic surgery in medical history. Pacific Islanders examine an F-4U Corsair aircraft. At first, they mistook the soldiers for deities, 1943. Viet Cong partisans transport ammunition along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, Vietnam War, 1968. Japanese samurai respected the practice of shudo, homosexual relationships between a young man and a mature man, believing it taught young men honor, aesthetic sense, and dignity. Love for a woman, conversely, was considered softening for men. After the atomic bombing of Hiroshima in August 1945, 70,000 to 80,000 people died from the explosion. By the end of the year, due to radiation and other consequences, the total number of victims exceeded 150,000. Kim Jong-un with his father, leader of North Korea, Pyongyang, 1990s. The photo shows Vincenzo Peruggia, who stole the Mona Lisa on August 21, 1911. Just listen to how easily he did it. He entered the Louvre, where there was neither security nor visitors, took the painting, removed it from its frame, and walked out. How Alaska's Muir Glacier changed from 1882 to 2015. Children in trenches during the bombing of England around 1941. British magician Kuda Bux demonstrates his ability to see with his eyes closed. England, 1937. A police photo of an arrested girl for non-traditional sexual orientation. USA, 1940. American prisoners of war liberated from a Japanese concentration camp, Philippines, 1945. Edward Smith, the captain of the Titanic. The voyage on the Titanic was supposed to be Smith's last before retirement. A meeting of the American organization, Friends of New Germany, New York, 1934. Service at the Track Restaurant in Los Angeles, 1950s. Food was delivered directly to cars via a conveyor belt. France's last duel occurred in 1967 between a deputy and a mayor after the deputy insulted the mayor in Parliament, calling him an idiot. The scandal that shook Hollywood in 1921. Silent film star Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle was accused of a brutal assault on model Virginia Rapp during a party, an event that ended her life and destroyed his career forever. Civilians sleep in the subway during another German bombing raid, London, 1940. The emotions of a man who served over 38 years in prison for a murder he did not commit after being found innocent. Ohio, USA. Gas-powered taxis, London, 1940. Such a car could travel 50 kilometers on the gas stored in roof cylinders. An exam at a high school in the Chinese city of Wuhan, 2008. Children's reaction to a happy ending at a theater play, 1963. Adolf Hitler visits the trenches where he served during World War I as part of the Bavarian 16th Reserve Regiment near Fonel. The Hitler Regiment held this line for 18 months. Allied and Soviet soldiers parody Hitler on the famous Reich Chancellery balcony, Berlin, 1945. It was World War II that forced girls to shave their legs. Nylon went to parachutes and stockings had to be imitated with cream that only applied well to smooth skin. This photograph, along with many others, captures the devastating consequence of war. Famine. Africa, 1992. In 1815, about 50,000 soldiers died at the Battle of Waterloo. Before burying the soldiers, their teeth were pulled to make dentures. Waterloo teeth were in high demand. A men's beauty contest, USA, 1919. Experimental aerocycle by de Lackner, which was not adopted for use due to safety concerns for the pilot, USA, 1956. In 1997, a collapse occurred at a mine in China. 17 years later, one of the miners was found alive. An Armenian woman from Aleppo with tattoos indicating her belonging to a Bedouin tribe, 1915. Arab nomads gave her a choice: marry one of them and convert to Islam, or be handed over to Turkish soldiers. In the early 20th century, the U.S. Navy decided to fight inappropriate tattoos among sailors and prohibited people with such tattoos from joining. This led many young men who didn't want to serve in the Navy to get tattoos of naked women. Interestingly, if they later changed their minds, they went back to the tattoo shop to add clothes to their girls. Prostitutes behind bars in a brothel, Japan, 1890. Most of these women, likely from Korea or China, were sold by their families or husbands to repay debts. Forget about spy gadgets. In the 1960s, the CIA launched Operation Acoustic Cat. The plan was to train cats to eavesdrop on Russian conversations. The first agent cat, with a microphone in its ear, a transmitter in its collar, and an antenna implanted in its tail, was sent to position but tragically died under the wheels of a taxi. A hungry boy standing for hours in an endless line for rice, China, 1948. A Viet Cong deserter shows Americans how partisans overcome barbed wire obstacles. Vietnam, 1967. Los Angeles, 1957. Elderly woman inspecting Vicky Dugan's daring dress at a film award banquet. Giant manta ray caught off the coast of Karachi, India, 1933. These sea creatures can reach 9 meters in width and weigh up to 3 tons. Turkish officers who attempted to arrest President Erdogan punished by staring at his photo. All Day Turkey, 2016. In April 1944, the CEO of America's largest mail-order retailer was removed by the National Guard after refusing to negotiate with workers, leading to the company's seizure by the U.S. War Department. Vibration therapy, 1890s, a curious treatment for headaches of the era. Lee Harvey Oswald, the assassin of John F. Kennedy before his death. 1963, USA. A rare photo of people enjoying casual conversation on September 11, 2001. Last Hope. A woman praying to an icon in a ward for HIV-infected patients. Russia, 1993. Racial hatred. A hotel owner pours acid into a swimming pool where African Americans are swimming, 1964. The Miss Perfect Posture Beauty Contest, 1956. A man is strapped to the electric chair in Addis Ababa prison, Ethiopia, 1950. A girl crossing the border between East and West Berlin. She made it and survived, but not everyone was so lucky. Many were shot. Later, a 4-meter-high brick Berlin Wall would be built along this drawn line. Posing in the style of the Headless Horseman, 1920s. St. Nicholas Parade in Austria. St. Nicholas rides a white horse while Krampus warns children to behave. On April 15, 1989, one of the most horrific tragedies in the history of English football occurred. 94 Liverpool fans were crushed to death, and 766 others were injured at Hillsborough Stadium during an FA Cup semi-final match against Nottingham Forest. In the psychiatric clinic where I was treated, one man thought he was Napoleon and another San Martin. No one believed me that I was Maradona. Diego Maradona, 1994. Night fishing in Hawaii, where bright lights attract fish to the shallows, 1968. Self-proclaimed Reverend Father Yod with his wives, 1970s. His Los Angeles commune of the 70s turned sex, drugs, and rock and roll into a brilliant religious formation. A hut made of mammoth bones found in Ukraine. The structure is about 15,000 years old. Albert Einstein in his free time, 1939. A German soldier gives bread to a Russian orphan boy, 1942. This blonde, blue-eyed child was spared, but tragically, another boy nearby, dark-haired and swarthy, was treated with brutal cruelty by the very same soldiers. Surrendered Berlin, Germany, 1945. Joseph Stalin smiles after signing the Non-Aggression Pact between Germany and the Soviet Union, 1939. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope these photos impressed you. Some may have made you angry, brought a smile, made you happy, or perhaps even caused some negativity. Feel free to leave your comments and stay tuned for the next part. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Bye.